New at 5:30, a Houston man getting probation after he was shot while raising his gun at a Gastonia police officer. This happened in a Buffalo Wild Wings parking lot last year. We first told you about this story back in August when a police officer shot James Roberts after he ordered Roberts to drop the gun dozens of times. WCNC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner's been covering this story since it happened. He's live from the restaurant where it happened. And Brandon, you learned new details about the moments leading up to the shooting, correct?
That's right, Bill. One of the more eye-popping revelations before he got shot in this parking lot. According to prosecutors, Roberts asked the officer whether he had a family and then said he would shoot the officer's family. This is the first time we're getting a look at the man who Gastonia police say put one of its officers and a restaurant full of customers in danger. James Roberts got into an argument with family members during dinner before he went outside to his car and pulled out a gun. Keith Collins spotted Roberts as he left the restaurant.
And when he seen me, he stuck the gun in his mouth. And I started screaming at him. I said, "No, don't do that."
District Attorney Locke Bell says body camera video shows a Gastonia police officer screaming at Roberts to put his gun down at least 20 times.
The defendant then asked the officer, "Do you have family?" And he says, "I'm going to kill your family." The defendant said more words, and then the defendant started bringing the gun up.
Bell says the officer fired his gun and hit Roberts. He says the officer was justified in shooting. Roberts enters an Alford plea today, which means he does not admit to committing a crime, but he acknowledges prosecutors have enough evidence to convince a jury to convict him. But he won't have to spend any more jail time. Instead, he receives 2.5 years of supervised probation so he can get mental health treatment. Defense attorney Matthew Hawkins says Roberts serves in the Texas National Guard, and that night he says Roberts was dealing with a lot of personal issues, and he didn't intend to harm anyone else but himself.
I think a sad and emotional situation. Everybody says just very anti-Jimmy, just not what he's about.
And a group of people who got a lot of credit for this incident was the staff inside the Buffalo Wild Wings who barricaded the doors and locked them before police arrived to prevent any sort of additional issues that came up from this. Live in Gastonia, Brandon Goldner, WCNC Charlotte.